What was it like stepping into the world of Transformers, and were you a fan of the franchise before this project?
Getting the opportunity to jump into this franchise was awesome. I grew up watching the original cartoon in the 80s and really loving these characters. And so, given the opportunity, I took it.
This film not only has action and comedy, but it also explores a more sort of deep relationship that shifts between Orion Pax and D16. How do you think that these themes will resonate with audiences?
Their relationship changes, and it's a very human relationship, and which with human emotions attached to that. So, I think that my hope is that this will last a while and resonate because people will see themselves or their own experiences within these characters. I think that's the best way to tell a story is getting down to the basics of who we are as humans and just seeing that on screen.
How important were the action and the comedy as part of that?
Action and comedy is so important to these characters and to Transformers in general. It's part of the DNA of it, and I wanted to capture that feeling I remember having as a kid watching the original series, and which was full of action and comedy. So that was just naturally part of it.
Lovely. How did you, or did you approach the film differently from previous projects you've worked on?
I don't think I approached it any differently. I think obviously the subject matter is different from other films, but it's always about trying to get to the root of the emotion and the relationship between characters. It doesn't matter if they're robots or or what they are. They could be anything. Having worked on a Toy Story movie, it's like those happen to be toys, but it's still a human relationships that we're feeling between the characters. So I don't think I really changed anything.
How did you navigate the casting process for this film? Obviously, you have an amazing cast. How did you?
Yeah, this cast is insane. Still can't believe it. It was all about who's right for these characters, knowing that they're going to become Megatron and Optimus Prime. I was thinking about Peter Cullen's voice, and he's my Optimus I grew up with. Who can be the early version of that? And Chris just has the strength and the tone of that character who will eventually become that. And he was also able to bring a piece of himself, which is that charm that he has, and just the kind of looseness and the rebellious part that can eventually learn a lesson and become Optimus. And then with D16, Brian and I talked about how we can make him really likable and make him somebody you kind of want to hang out with, so that when he becomes evil, that you really feel it and really see that change. And when we were working on Alita and writing Bumblebee, I just had Scarlett and Keegan in my head, and I'd worked with them on previous projects, so luckily I just was able to call them and say, hey, interested in this? And they said, yeah.
Oh, it's an amazing cast you put together. What are you most excited for audiences to experience? And also, what do you think they might be surprised by?
I'm excited for audiences to experience these, for all audiences to experience this movie just as fans or as somebody who doesn't know anything about Transformers. The idea was, let's create a movie that anybody can watch and enjoy and understand. Even though there's a ton of lore in Transformers, this is the beginning, and you can watch this. And I would love for people to be surprised by the relationship between these characters. That was the thing that made me want to make this movie. Is it has all the action and scale and adventure of a Transformers film, but it also has a little bit more, which is this very human relationship that is the core of the film.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!